This is the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. We have assembled the world's finest sports and trivia dorks to prove once and for all that we are just as bad at this as we were at sports.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, sports trivia for those of us who wrote the content. I'll be your host today, Mason, and today's game will be pitting the Benchwarmer team of Scott and Josh versus Benchwarmer Eric and newcomer AJ Haefele from the Denver.com. So, welcome to the bench, AJ. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, favorite teams, and anything else you like to talk.
So I cover the Colorado Avalanche for it's actually DNVR, which of course you wouldn't know that if you didn't know that. I live here in Denver locally for the time being, and Denver sports is kind of my thing, and hopefully you guys have lots of Denver sports related questions because I'll be pretty good at those. I grew up in Texas and also followed a lot of Houston sports because I lived in a small town near Houston. So that's the Houston and the Denver teams are the ones that I would most closely associate with, as well as a few other random ones across sports because I'm just a junkie like that. So that's me in 90 seconds.
All right, well, thank you for doing that. And Eric, how are you doing?
I'm tired. I had to work this morning, so that's always fun. But other than that, I'm good. I went to a supermarket, I guess you could say, and there's a guy there that knows everything there is to ever know about cheese. So I had to put a cheese board together for my brother-in-law and sister, his wife, I guess, whatever you want to call it, coming over tonight. So my wife just checked the bank account. She's like, "You spent $80 on cheese?" I'm like, "Yes, I did. Sure did." There's some honey and stuff in there too, but it's mostly cheese.
Sounds like quite an adventure.
Yes.
So what is your team name for today?
So we forgot to even talk about this. So, AJ, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out here, just based on, the latest podcast from yours that I listened to today. And our team name today is going to be Go Get Taylor Hall.
I'm good with that.
All right, I can put that in now. Go Get Taylor Hall.
He is a divisive topic on our show.
Yes. And I will freak out if he signs with the Avalanche, just so you know.
Yeah, if that happens on free agency day, the bar is going to be pretty insane.
Yeah.
All right, Scott and Josh, how are you guys doing today?
Doing all right. It's another wonderful Saturday afternoon, and I don't know, just kind of the same old, just as we continue through these pandemic times, just hanging out at home a lot. Although $80 worth of cheese sounds pretty awesome, so maybe I'll have to make a trip to the supermarket myself and put together a cheese tray.
There you go.
You have all the Minnesota things behind you, all the Minnesota logos behind you. Are we going to have a problem?
I mean, I don't know. A problem? I'm wearing a Colts 45 hat.
All right.
No, he's more of a what would you say, a no longer hockey fan because of
I'm a wild fan. I mean, I they're my team, but it's of the big four, it's my least that I pay attention to. So
cool. So it's like the relationship I have with the Nuggets, where I'm like, yeah, sure, why not?
Sure, yeah, that sounds about right. I like them when they're good. When they're not, I just don't pay attention to them.
So you haven't liked them very much in your life?
Yeah, pretty much.
Scott, anything?
Yeah, I had this whole cool Go Nuggets Western Conference Finals thing, but then he said that the Nuggets were his least favorite. So,
I mean, it's all relative, man. Like, I still watch 60% of their games, but
yeah, we were recording on Thursday night, and I was half paying attention because Game 7 was on, and I was just really excited they pulled that out. I have to get a Nuggets hat. I still haven't all the good Nuggets hats are snapbacks. Why? Why can't I just get a good fitted Denver Nuggets hat? I don't understand. I'm really struggling with that. But anyways, the reason I so adamantly need one, not just because I'm a fan of what they've been building for a couple of years, but also because I don't have any hair, really. There's not a great hair situation going on here. So our team name today is No Hair, Don't Care.
Yeah, before the show, he's talking about the fact that JJ and I don't wear hats on the show. And he says because we apparently show off our hair since we have a lot more of it. All right, well, welcome to the bench, everyone. Now on to the rules.
We will be starting off with the tailgate to warm up the teams. This will be followed by 4 quarters of play, each with a different trivia style. The styles of quarters 1 through 3 will change from show to show, and I will explain them as we go along. Like any good sporting event, we will have a halftime show after the second quarter with entertainment questions pertaining to sports. And in the fourth quarter, our teams will wager from the points they've accumulated to see who are today's clipboard captains, to be honored like the true benchwarmers they are. All right, let's get this game underway.
We'll start off with the tailgate, which will be 3 warm-up questions worth 10 points apiece. And for this tailgate, I will give you a league, a year, and a team, and your task is to tell me what rookie of the year fits that description. Question number 1. MLB, 1981, Los Angeles Dodgers.
Good with checking that in?
Yeah.
All right, we'll check in.
No hair, don't care. It's checked in. Go get Taylor Hall. Feel free to discuss.
Only guy, AJ, to me would be Fernando Valenzuela.
Yeah, fun with that.
Fernando Fever, that's all I remember. So let's go ahead and check in with that.
Go get Taylor Hall. Checked in with Fernando Valenzuela. And no hair, don't care. What was your answer?
Yeah, Eric, I think it's Fernando Mania. Fernando Fever, I think, was after that ABBA song, Fernando. But anyways, we also checked in with Fernando Valenzuela.
And both teams are correct. It is Fernando Valenzuela. Of course, he was an all-star, Cy Young winner, Silver Slugger, leader in strikeouts, and won a World Series in that first year. So quite a start to his career. All right, question number 2. The league, NHL, the year 2011, and the team, the Colorado Avalanche.
You got that one, AJ?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to check in.
Go get Taylor Hall. Checked in. No hair, don't care. Talk it out.
Comeback, I don't think it's Taylor Hall.
No.
He's not on the Avalanche yet.
No.
Don't say yet. Don't jinx us.
Yet.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I don't know. Obviously. Is it Gabriel Landeskog? He's beautiful.
Maybe. I mean, that'd probably help him get some votes for Rookie of the Year, right? I have no idea how long he's been in the league.
I don't either.
Can I just tell you he is beautiful?
We get this from Eric. Yeah.
Apparently that's the man crush for Avs fans.
I've talked about this on the pod that when I have conversations with him, I don't look him straight in the eye because I'll just get lost. Like I have to look at something behind his head because otherwise I just he's dreamy and I'm just like, so
Scott, I got nothing better than that.
I feel like at this point we have to answer him even if it's wrong.
I think so. So yeah, we'll check in with Gabriel Landeskog.
All right, no hair, don't care. Checks in with Gabriel Landeskog. Go get Taylor Hall. Your answer?
Yeah, we're gonna go with Landeskog.
And both teams once again getting points. The correct answer is Gabriel Landeskog. I had to include that. I mean, he's a fan of the podcast, as in everyone on the podcast is apparently a fan of him. But
I still don't know what he looks like, but that's all right.
He's the perfect human being.
He really is. He's a specimen that is just
not only is he beautiful, but he's good at hockey and he's a good dude.
Maybe in the off season we should try to get him on the pod, and then Eric will be so distracted that he won't perform like he normally does.
Eric, I'm guessing Eric would want to host that one.
I would just sit in the background and just be quiet. I'll just sit in the corner.
You'll take the Matt role? Where you just...
Yes.
All right, we got one more question in the tailgate. Question 3. NFL, 2009, Houston Texans.
Mason, we're going to check in.
Okay. Go get Taylor Hall. Checked in. No hair, don't care. Go ahead and discuss.
Josh said, I think it has to be defense. I'm pretty sure Percy Harvin was offensive. I'm like, it has to be defense because it's the Texans. And it wasn't DeAndre Hopkins, so.
Yeah, obviously I threw out too early, Mario Williams.
Yeah, he was 06.
And you had said J.J. Watt, but I don't think he's been around that long.
I think he's 2011.
I think I like your Brian Cushing answer because that would be too early for Clowney as well. So
it's too early for Clowney. It's too late for D'Amico Ryans.
I like Cushing. I think that fits.
All right, let's do it. We're going to check in with Brian Cushing.
No hair, don't care. Checks in with Brian Cushing. Go get Taylor Hall. What was your answer?
So I thought it was going to be J.J. Watt, but then the more I thought about it, I knew he didn't win it because Brian Cushing had an insane rookie year. So we checked in with Brian Cushing.
Go get Taylor Hall. Also checked in with Brian Cushing, and the correct answer is Brian Cushing. So as Josh and Scott said that Percy Harvin did win, for Offensive Rookie of the Year. And D'Amico Ryans won in 2006 for the Texans. So after the tailgate round, both teams are knotted up at 30 points apiece. And today's first quarter will be pre- and post-game.
Pre- and post-game. For this quarter, there will be 5 before and after style questions. For example, if I said, what all-time leader in receptions for the Indianapolis Colts was a Notre Dame safety drafted by the Minnesota Vikings? The answer would be Marvin Harrison Smith. Each question is worth 20 points.
Question number 1. What golfer came back from a six-shot deficit at the 1973 U.S. Open with the lowest round to win a major and is the venue that will be renamed American Family Field starting in the 2021 season?
Man.
We're going to check this.
All right. Go get Taylor Hall. It's checked in. No hair, don't care. You can discuss.
Yeah, I never follow like stadium name changes until after the fact. And I'm like, oh, I guess the name changed. So to do it for 2021 now, that doesn't help me.
I just despise stadium name questions. I just do.
No, you do.
I forgot Josh was playing this game.
That's all right. You don't have to cater to me. They change so often.
Some of them.
American Family. I'm trying to think of where.
Right.
Where is that headquartered? It's a lot of times, it'll be the local.
Yep.
Kind of like with Minnesota, we have all the Target Field, Target Center, U.S. Bank, things like that.
Like Enron Stadium in Houston.
So I'm just trying to think if I had any idea where American Family.
Right. I don't. But we don't have the golfer either to even try to.
Yeah, I don't think I don't have any of this to.
Yeah.
So rather than us spend a whole bunch of time.
The names I can think of for golfers, like we said, can't even match them with a stadium that I can think of.
How about we go with the Ben Hogan Leg Drop Stadium?
Yes.
All right, we're going to check in with Ben Hogan Leg Drop Stadium.
No hair, don't care. It's checking in with Ben Hogan Leg Drop Stadium. And go get Taylor Hall. What was your answer?
So we had not much of an idea, and then I thought it was Jack Nicklaus at first, but it just didn't work with anything. And then I tried to remember there was a golfer named Johnny Miller that I believe he won something back then. And the only other park that worked with it would be Miller Park. So we went with Johnny Miller Park.
Go get Taylor Hall. It's checked in with Johnny Miller Park. And the correct answer is Johnny Miller Park.
Oh, I want to look up and see if American Family is in.
It's in Madison, Wisconsin. It's where it is.
It is. Okay. So.
Oh, it's a Matt question.
So I was on the right track of if I could have figured out where they're from.
Yeah, they're an insurance company.
I knew that, but I couldn't come up with where they were. And I don't think I would have known, even if we got to Miller, I don't think I would have.
I could have got Miller Park.
You could have? Well, no, I'm saying could you got Johnny Miller?
No. Who?
Well, he's also been a golf analyst on NBC Sports for almost 30 years.
Yeah, I've heard the name, but it just wouldn't have been there to pull.
He was also ranked second in the world in the mid-'70s behind Jack Nicklaus, so pretty big name golfer in his day.
Man, oh man, Mason, 70s golf and stadium name.
It's going to get better, I promise. I would hope so.
I don't know if it can get worse.
That's fair, but I thought maybe Miller Park would have been accessible, and then maybe
it could have been,
but
except I just had no clue as to where about that would have been. I didn't know they were changing the name.
Yeah, even if Josh figured out they were in Wisconsin and went with Miller Park, we would have checked in with like Cheryl Miller Park. we still wouldn't have known the golfer.
Could also play the first name game like Eric did. You might.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, let's see if question number 2 is a little bit better. What defenseman, the tallest in NHL history and the oldest to score a game-winning goal in the Stanley Cup playoffs, was inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame in 2019 after going undefeated in his first 14 MMA fights?
All right. We're going to check in.
Go get Taylor Hall checked in. No hair, don't care. Talk it out.
I know a lot of UFC fighters. I don't know when they go into the Hall of Fame. I don't know if there's an induction or something for that. I've never been privy to how that's worked out.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I think, and I don't know if there was a taller defenseman. I mean, Zdeno Chara is like 6'9". I mean, he's huge. I don't know if there's anyone taller or was anyone taller.
You don't think someone hit 6'10" as a defenseman?
But
yeah, Chara.
When it comes to UFC, if it's not Chuck Liddell or Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, they don't fit with Chara.
Nope. No.
Ara.
So I'm trying to think of. Well, the other thing is, do they have to be retired to get into the Hall of Fame in the UFC? I know nothing about their.
Same. One would think, but who knows? And there's no Chuck defenseman like Vanderchuck or Anderchuk. They always have those.
I mean,
names.
Dave Anderchuk, but I don't know if he was a defenseman, and I just don't have I don't recall him being like
tall.
Like I've heard about why he's such a big deal that Chara is so tall. So I don't know.
I got nothing. I don't.
I mean, Charles is the typical first name for Chuck.
Yeah, I mean, let's do it.
So go with Zdeno Charles Liddell.
Sure.
That's what we'll check in with, I guess.
So no hair, don't care. Checking with Zdeno Charles Liddell. Go get Taylor Hall. What was your answer?
So AJ hit me with Zdeno Chara, which is he's huge. I immediately started thinking like Uriah Faber, but it didn't work with Chara as well as I wanted. I'm sure I could probably put some stuff in my mouth and then said it and made it sound right. But then I remembered Rashad Evans was just inducted. So we went with Zdeno Chara Rashad Evans.
Go get Taylor Hall checked in with Zdeno Chara Rashad Evans, and that is the correct answer.
Wait for it. Who?
I've never even heard of him. No.
I mean, he was a UFC light heavyweight champion, and he also won the Ultimate Fighter 2 for any.
Yeah.
Forgot about that show.
He basically the end of his career, he tailed off. He lost his last 5 matches in his career after that. But
definitely Hall of Fame material.
14-5.
Well, he went 19-8-1. He had a middle where he just kind of like split a bunch of them. But yeah, I guess they only looked at the first half where he went. He started off 17-1-1, and then kind of just tailed off after that.
Well, this is not a good start, Scott.
No, it's not. I felt good after the tailgate. I was like, okay, here we go. Brian Cushing, let's go.
I cannot wait for the cricket before and after question here. Let's go.
Neither of these were gettable for us.
What cricket nation also shared the name with a snooker champion?
Okay.
I think that got rid of the less popular sport. So I hope the next 3 are at least, I think, are more accessible. But I might be completely wrong.
You said that after the first one.
I thought the first one was at least you could get at least halfway through it and maybe figure out the other half. But anyway.
Hey, we got half of the second one.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 3. What Pittsburgh linebacker has the most takeaways in NFL history by a non-defensive back and is the team that has won the most Grey Cups since the 1950 merger, winning most recently in 1999?
They've won the most, and their last one was in 99.
They must have dominated before then.
Yeah, this is like the Canadiens of the CFL.
Yes.
We'll check in.
No hair, don't care. It's checked in. Go get Taylor Hall. Go ahead and talk it out.
Yeah, no Kevin Green, no Levon Kirkland, none of those work. Joey Porter doesn't work. And just based on the fact that I'm pretty sure it's Hamilton.
Yeah, you're right on that.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and check in with Jack Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Go get Taylor Hall is checked in with Jack Hamilton Tiger Cats. No hair, don't care. Your answer?
I'm glad you said Tiger Cats because Scott came with Jack Ham pretty quick. And then he's like, isn't there a team in Hamilton? And I was like, yes, there is. And he's like, I have no idea what their team name is. So I was sitting here for a few minutes racking my brain. And then it popped in that I do believe it is the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And I'm feeling even more positive about it now that they've answered it. So we are also checking in with Jack Hamilton Tiger Cats.
No hair, don't care. Also checks in with Jack Hamilton Tiger Cats. And both teams are getting points. So that is the correct answer. So Jack Ham actually played at Penn State. Fun fact. And as far as the Hamilton Tiger Cats, so they have kind of had a weird history as far as like when they won. So they won in 99, then 86, 72, 67, 65, 63, 57, 53. And if you include kind of like their historical prior to the merger, they won a championship in every decade of the 20th century. They're one of only 2 professional teams to do that. The other is a AAA minor league baseball team, the Rochester Red Wings. Anyway, question number 4. What Oklahoma State wide receiver was ruled ineligible in the 2009 season for having interactions with Deion Sanders and has hosted an HBO show that has won 32 sports Emmys since its debut in 1995?
I know this one, Josh. We can check this one in.
Go ahead.
All right, we're checked in.
No Hair, Don't Care is checked in. Go get Taylor Hall. Talk it out.
It's got to be Des Bryant Gumbel, right? Yeah, I that's all I would think it would be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Des Bryant's right for sure.
And it is Bryant Gumbel or not? I thought it was Brian.
Aren't there like 12 Gumbles? I mean,
Yeah, Greg, Jim, Lewis, Frank,
Zdeno
Gumbel. He's the tallest of the Gumbles.
You know, the whole tallest player in NHL history thing, it's a fact. It's just not true.
There's got to be somebody.
It drives me crazy because John Scott was the same height.
Was he?
Yeah.
He was quite large.
Yeah. He's officially listed at 6'8" instead of 6'9", but he was actually 6'9".
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry if he's officially listed at something. That's his height.
It's so like the way that the NHL does it, it drives me crazy. But like John Scott was 6'9". He was very proud of that.
Well, then why didn't he get it changed?
He was too busy winning an All-Star Game MVP.
Yeah, right?
So.
All right, so Mason, we're going to check with that.
Oh, there's a question happening, yes.
Yeah. Des Bryant Gumbel.
Go get Taylor Hall. Checked in with Des Bryant Gumbel. And No Hair, Don't Care. Your answer.
Immediately, my mind went to Justin Blackman, and I was like, nope, that doesn't fit with any sort of sports host. So we also checked in with Des Bryant Gumbel. And it is Bryant, Eric.
Is it?
Yeah.
And both teams are correct. It is Des Bryant Gumbel. Des Bryant is still trying to make a comeback. He tried out with the Ravens in August, but didn't get signed with them. So, all right. Last question of pre and post game so we can get out of this quarter once and for all. What MLB player, the only one to hit for the cycle 3 times in the same stadium and the first Dominican-born player to get 3,000 hits, led CSKA Moscow to 6 Russian championships before becoming the general manager of 2 different NBA teams?
Mason, we're going to check in.
Go get Taylor Hall. Checked in. No Hair, Don't Care. Talk it out.
Maybe it's not that GM, Josh. Maybe it's not Prokhorov.
I mean, he could be an American who
Absolutely
got hired over there, especially for basketball.
General manager of 2 different teams. Masayuri, the Raptors GM. I think he was GM somewhere before Toronto.
Denver.
That's right.
Yeah, he won GM of the year and the Nuggets fired him.
They're doing fine now.
Yeah, let me tell you, that was a fun era.
Yeah, it took a little bit. Oh, man.
I didn't even see that I spelled
I did.
I missed that I spelled Adrian Belter.
I knew who you meant.
So did he get 3,000? I think he's from the Dominican.
If he didn't, he's pretty close.
God, he played forever.
He played for a long time. So Trey, if we do say if it is Adrian Beltre,
you got something?
No, he's not a GM. Never mind.
Who?
Adrian Bell Trajan Langdon. No, he's like a special. Isn't he something for the Pelicans, like an advisor or something?
I mean, he's in the front office for someone.
Oh, which means he could have gone over there and done that as a GM.
I got nothing better. I mean, he is doing some front office stuff. I don't know if he's.
He is. I don't know.
I don't know. Has he been a GM yet?
I don't know. But he is involved with the Pelicans. It could be a know your host.
Oh, that is true.
I mean, it works as a pre and post game. I just don't know if it works with the criteria in this specific pre and post game.
Well, he's been in front offices.
Correct. For at least probably 15 years.
Yeah, because his pro career wasn't super long.
No, it was like 3 or 4 seasons.
I'd be cool with going with Adrian Bell, Trajan Langdon.
I don't know if we have anything better, right? I'm not sure if there's anything.
It's better than anything else we're going to come up with.
I agree.
All right, so we'll check in with Adrian Bell, Trajan Langdon.
No Hair, Don't Care checks in with Adrian Bell, Trajan Langdon. And Go Get Taylor Hall, your answer.
That's our answer.
Know your host on that one. Yeah, Adrian Bell, Trajan Langdon.
So Go Get Taylor Hall also checks in with the same answer, and both teams are correct. It is Adrian Bell, Trajan Langdon.
Scott was going down the Prokhorov.
I'm glad we got off that. So when you typed to me, did Adrian Belter get 3,000? When I said to you, I don't know if it's that one, but it brings up a pre and post game for the future, I went to my phone and wrote Adrian Bell, Trajan Langdon as one I wanted to do. Because I thought this one was not that.
Was he a GM twice?
Yes.
Apparently.
I know he was an assistant GM with the Nets.
Yeah, this is the part that tripped me up, is I didn't think he'd been a GM yet.
He was named the assistant general manager of the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, well, he wasn't general manager.
I mean, he was assistant GM. It's sort of GM. He's kind of GM.
He was still a general manager of some type.
That's true.
It was in his title.
Assistant managers are still managers, even if it's Foot Locker or McDonald's. It doesn't matter.
That is true. On the resume, it says management experience. I manage a baseball team, Little League, fantasy.
Yeah.
I get that now.
I know.
So, after the first quarter, we have scores of No Hair, Don't Care with 90 and Go Get Taylor Hall in the lead with 130. And today's second quarter will be the odd one out.
The odd one out. For this quarter, there will be 5 categorized questions containing lists of 6 items. The teams will attempt to choose the item from the list that does not fit the given category. Each question is worth 20 points.
So, question number 1. The category is 2018 Bills starting quarterbacks. So there were a lot of them. And I want to know which one of these individuals was not a starting quarterback for them that year. Your players are Josh Allen, Derek Anderson, Matt Barkley, AJ McCarron, LaShawn McCoy, and Nathan Peterman.
AJ, we can check in.
I don't even have them all written down yet.
All right, Go Get Taylor Hall checked in. So No Hair, Don't Care. Talk it out.
All right, Josh. So the only thing that might trip me up was LaShawn McCoy ever listed as a QB on the depth chart?
Probably.
Before one of their games.
One of the games they probably listed him as the starter for some reason.
Right. Did they run the Wildcat or just listed him as a starter?
So this was going into the games they were listed as the starting quarterback.
They started the game.
So
does that mean they're just the first one behind center? Yeah, because that could easily be
McCoy could have easily gotten a first Wildcat snap or something.
Agreed. Matt Barkley definitely started for them that year. I remember that.
That was Josh Allen's rookie year, right?
Yes, because those guys were in year 3. Was Peterman there? Or was he on Oakland already?
What year was it that he got too many starts with them? Was it before?
And every start he's ever had was one too many on any team.
Oh man, was McCarron on the team in 2018?
I don't remember him being there. I'm just tripped up on McCoy. Like this could very obviously be the correct answer that he's the odd one out, seeing as he doesn't play the position. But
like he probably got. It wouldn't surprise me if he got the first snap of a game and then was technically the starting quarterback.
I'd lean towards McCarron of the answers here. I think we should check
in with AJ McCarron.
No Hair, Don't Care checks in with AJ McCarron. And Go Get Taylor Hall, what did you check in with?
So I feel like you wrote this question for me, Mason. Even though I'm not a Bills fan. So Nathan Peterman started the first 2 games, got pulled in the second game. Josh Allen went in and proceeded to play, I forget how many games, and then hurt his elbow against the Texans. I know way too much about this for not being a Bills fan. Then Derek Anderson went and played 1 game. LaShawn McCoy technically started a game because of the Wildcat. Derek Anderson was lined up as a wide receiver. And the last game of the year, I believe, against the Jets, Barkley played. So we went with AJ McCarron.
And Eric basically explained pretty much the entire situation. The correct answer is AJ McCarron. So he was on the team for a couple of months. He signed there and then got hurt and was traded to the Raiders. Question number 2. The category is NBA players whose fathers also played in the NBA. So you tell me which one did not have that. Devin Booker, Ed Davis, Kendall Marshall, Sean May, Jalen Rose, and Danny Shays.
Yeah, it would. I mean, it is what it is, and if not, we'll protest. All right, Mason, we're gonna check in.
All right, pending a possible protest after the end of this question. Go get Taylor Halls checked in. So no hair, don't care. Go ahead and discuss.
Yeah, Josh, I'm stuck between Devin Booker and Jalen Rose. I feel like Danny Shays, Dolph Shays' kid, Sean May, Scott May's kid.
I know who Dolph Shays is.
He was an older NBA player. Yeah,
I don't even know who Danny Shays is. You could either of
that's
those.
his son.
Well, sure, okay.
We don't know.
Guys I've never heard of.
But I mean, for this category, that's all we need to know, right? I mean,
seriously, of those list of 6, I've heard of Devin Booker and Jalen Rose.
And Sean May.
Oh, Sean May from a previous. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah,
his father was Scott May. They won the
I'm
Indiana
assuming he
won
played in the NBA,
season.
didn't he? I mean,
if not, I'm going to protest because I'm pretty sure he.
I
did.
mean, he definitely won in.
He was drafted.
He won a title.
In college, yeah.
Right, in college. That doesn't necessarily mean that he played in the pros, but you did this. You did the research on him, so.
I didn't do much research on that question. I just knew the answer, so I just made the question. I didn't really delve into Scott May's post-Indiana Hoosiers career. But I don't know. Ed Davis. Davis is such a common last name. I just feel like, yeah, probably his dad was one of the Davises that played in like the 70s and 80s. One of the Dave Josh, I don't think Ed Davis and Kendall Marshall make this list if their fathers didn't play, because otherwise, Mason, why would you include, why would he include such obscure players? I would say more than Ed Davis at least carved out like a 10+ year career.
Kendall Marshall plays like 9 games a season. It's all right.
But between like the EuroLeague, the G League, and the NBA, yeah, like Jalen Rose, I'm trying to think about his background and everything. Like, did he have a father? There's mean streets there in Michigan.
Well, I mean, he had to have at least a biological father.
Well, sure.
I mean, it's not. Well, back then, I don't know if you're able to do things, test tube wise or things.
That took a left.
Well,
Into a science podcast.
This has been your Science Minute with Josh Bombeck.
Scott, go with your initial gut. Let's go Booker.
My initial gut was
Let's
Devin
go
Booker. I just don't remember anything about that.
Just go with it.
All right. Well, he's also my favorite player of the people listed, so we're going to check in with Devin Booker.
All right. No hair, don't care. Checks in with Devin Booker. And go get Taylor Hall. What did you check in with?
We are going with Kendall Marshall.
All right. Go get Taylor Hall. Checks in with Kendall Marshall. So I will run through these very briefly. So Dolph Shays' son is Danny Shays. Sean Mays is the son of Scott May, as you alluded to. Jalen Rose is the son of Jimmy Walker, who was a number 1 overall pick, as AJ briefly mentioned. Ed Davis is the son of Terry Davis, who played 12 years in the league in the 80s and 90s, as you said.
Yep.
And the other father that I haven't mentioned is Melvin Booker, who is Devin Booker's father. He played in the NBA for a few seasons. And so the correct answer was Kendall Marshall. And the reason why, there's also another connection between all 6 of these. They were all selected in the same draft position. They were all 13th overall picks, which was kind of interesting. But all right, question number 3. The category is NHL number 1 overall picks of the 2000s. So 5 of these were in the 2000s. One of them was not. They're all number 1 overall picks. So.
I'm the odd one out in this one.
You sure I'm not there with you?
Hey, it's a Big 4 question. You wanted a Big 4. You got a Big 4 question. Here's the list. Rick DiPietro, Eric Johnson, Ilya Kovalchuk, Rick Nash, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and John Tavares.
Yeah. Okay. We're good.
We're checked in, Mason.
Yep.
Go get Taylor Hall.
That was okay.
Checked in. No hair, don't care. Talk about.
All right, Josh. I've heard of 4 out of 6. That's a good start. That's better than I expected going into the question.
I think I got 4 of them.
I've heard Eric Johnson.
Eric Johnson was the number 1 overall pick in the mid 2000s. He was.
Okay.
He was out of the University of Minnesota.
He's also married to Jessica Simpson. That's a different Eric Johnson. That was a former NFL tight end. All right, so he's out then.
I think
Rick Nash is out. He was 1,000%.
Oh, I think
when I briefly followed.
I'm
hockey.
pretty sure DiPietro was the number 1 overall pick.
That would make sense.
And
yep.
I do believe Kovalchuk.
Well, they're all number 1 overall.
Well,
picks.
I meant in that time
it's
frame.
just when. Yeah.
So the 2 for me would be Nugent Hopkins and Tavares.
I know the name John Tavares. I've heard it. I've never heard of this Nugent
I've
Hopkins.
heard the name.
So brutal.
I smoked pot with Johnny Hopkins.
There you go.
Never met Johnny Hopkins. Anybody named Johnny Hopkins.
Those hyphenated names, I feel like, are newer things.
I mean,
they're trendy
if
now. After
for some
2010.
reason, that name sounds newer than
Yeah, that's what I'm
Tavares.
thinking.
So not necessarily because of the hyphen, just from not paying a ton of attention. So my gut would be to go with Nugent Hopkins.
I think that as well, just because I've heard of John Tavares, and I followed hockey more in like the 2000s than I have the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So if I've heard the name, it may be because of that, hopefully.
All right, well, let's check in with Nugent Hopkins.
What was his first name?
Who cares?
No hair, don't care. Checks in with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And go get Taylor Hall. What was your answer?
Also Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
So what year was he? I have no clue.
2011. Tavares was 2009. Johnson was 2006. And the other ones were 2000, 2001, 2002.
Yes, that's exactly right. The correct answer is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And coincidentally enough, I had Taylor Hall in this question. 2010, number 1 overall, but I took him out. So,
yeah, we earlier answer was 2nd overall pick Landeskog in 2011 as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Correct.
I just want to point out that Bombeck and I got both of those questions right. So
It's true.
we'll hang our hats on that. Actually, we won't, because then you'll see our no hair. We won't do that.
Well, we got both of our hockey questions, and we even had the hockey half of the before and after.
We did. That's
We're
right.
all over
Hockey's
hockey today.
Somehow that's not been our kryptonite in this episode. Mason, more hockey questions.
Yeah, the rest of the game is gonna be hockey. Anyway, question number 4. Since we've already covered 3 of the big 4 sports, we'll go ahead and cover the last one. So the last big 4 sport in this category, question 4, teams that Edwin Jackson has played for.
Jesus,
Yeah.
he's played for them all, hasn't he?
There are a few that he hasn't.
There's at
There's
least one
because I have them in
Okay.
here. All right, so here are the teams. Atlanta Braves, Arizona Diamondbacks, Miami Marlins, New York Mets, San Diego Padres, and St. Louis Cardinals.
Gosh, I think I can check this one in.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, we're going to check in.
All right. No hair, don't care. It's checked in. Go get Taylor Hall. Go ahead and talk it out.
So he played for like 3.5 seconds in Chicago.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think after that he went to the Cardinals. So if you're sure that he was on the Braves, Marlins, Padres, Diamondbacks, right?
I'm definitely sure about the Braves and the Padres. 100%.
I'm pretty sure he was on the Diamondbacks at one point. So I think we're good with the card.
I'm pretty sure he was on the Diamondbacks.
Okay.
The Marlins, I swear I remember him there, and so
he has been literally everywhere. The fact that there's only
if you feel
6 teams on this list.
If you feel good that he was with the Cards after he left the Sox, then I'm good with the Mets.
Yeah. So let's go. I Mets I don't think are on there. I can't picture him in a Mets uniform.
If you swear about the Cards,
Yeah.
I'll go with the
Okay.
Mets. I'm good.
All
with
right,
the
I'm
Mets.
good with saying that he was on the Cardinals. So, all right, we're going with the Mets, Mason.
Joey Taylor Hall is checked in with the New York Mets. And no hair, don't care. What did you check in with?
Positive about the Braves, positive about the D-backs, positive about the Marlins, positive about the Cardinals. And then I had to remember if San Diego was one of the stops, and then I was like, yeah, it definitely was. So checked in with the Mets.
You also checked in with the Mets. So going through the teams, in 2010, he was with the Diamondbacks. And then he was on the White Sox, like I said, for a hot minute. And then he went to St. Louis in 2011. And then in 2015, he played for the Cubs and then the Braves. And then 2016, he was with the Marlins and then with the Padres. So the correct answer is the New York Mets.
How many teams has he played for?
14. He's played for a couple of them twice.
And he's played for almost half of the league.
Yeah.
And he only came up in like 03. It's not like it's not like he's been up since 1998, you know what I mean?
He's got a lot of years left where he could
He's got almost a season.
Is he still is he on a team right now?
He's in Arizona again. In a minor league contract, but he was released. So I don't think he's probably going to go anywhere.
He'll be back.
He'll get a call up at some point.
Question 5. Women's tennis players to reach the finals of all 4 majors in a calendar year. And I want to know which one of these women did not do that. So here they are. Maureen Connolly, Chris Evert, Justine Henin, Martina Hingis, Monica Seles, and Serena Williams.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
All right, we'll check in.
No hair, don't care is checked in. Go get Taylor Hall. Discuss.
So to make all of them in a calendar year. Celis, maybe? No, she had to have done it.
Celis was crazy pants good before she got stabbed.
Yeah, that's probably why she got.
She was even pretty darn good even after she came back.
She had a good career.
Yeah.
When did I get stabbed?
Hingis definitely did it, right? That was on the list.
Yeah.
All right.
I think she did it. I'm pretty confident Enan did it. I don't know what the hell a Maureen Connolly is, so I'm assuming that she did it. And that she played in like the 40s or 50s. Or
you always get one of those with
60s.
Mason.
Like, and that's like the automatic like never heard of this person, so it definitely happened.
Okay. Got to be Serena.
Yeah, I'm good to go with that.
All right. We're checking it with Serena Williams.
We get Taylor Hall is checked in with Serena Williams. And no hair, don't care. What did you check in with?
I think you're trying to trick us with this one. Because I think Serena's been to like 3 of the 4 finals, like probably 3 or 4 or 5 years. But my guess is I'm like, this just feels like, you would think, oh, she's obviously done it. And I know she's held all 4, I think, at the same time. But those span 2 calendar years. So I think you're trying to hoodwink us. So we also went with Serena Williams.
So you also checked in with Serena Williams. I'll just go through them really quickly. Connolly was 1953. I threw that name in there because if you didn't recognize it, you might think she did it. She did do it. Everett did it in 1984. Henin did it in 2006. Hingis, 1997. Celis did it in 1992. So the correct answer is Serena Williams. She has never done that. She has gotten close a couple of times, but has never actually gotten there.
I remember it was a big deal in 2015 when they got to the U.S. Open, and they were like, will Serena make the final? And then she did not.
Nice try, Sneaky Pete. Not happening.
I'm glad I have a new nickname now. Anyway, heading into halftime, we have a score of no hair, don't care with 170, and Go Get Taylor Hall extending their lead a little bit with 230.
It is now time for the halftime show. There will be 5 entertainment questions pertaining to sports, with each question worth 20 points.
Question 1. What rapper had 2 songs which reference Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks reach number 1 on the Billboard Hot Rap Songs in 2018? His debut single also referenced an NBA player and answered any doubts about his rap skills.
We can check in.
No hair, don't care has checked in. Go Get Taylor Hall. Talk it out.
Nope. He started reading that question, and I was like, wow, Billboard has a hot rap songs list.
Doubts about rap skills, my gut would be Drake. He's an NBA guy, right? And people think he sucks. Yeah. I don't think more than that he's...
Well, that's because he does suck, so good. I'm not sure that would have dispelled his rap skills. Oh, I'm sorry. You guys are talking about him.
Shut up!
I didn't do anything to help him.
Just confirm my gut feeling that Drake sucks. So, AJ, I think that's if you got nothing, I have slightly more than nothing, and that's Drake. Okay. All right, we're gonna check in with Drake.
Go Get Taylor Hall has checked in with Drake, and No Hair Don't Care. What did you check in with?
I checked in quickly. I do want to point out I don't like this artist. I don't listen to him because it's new music and I don't like it. But I know that his first, I actually got it from the second half. His first single was called White Iverson, which I knew because you said answered any questions about his rap skills. So I got the reference there. It's Post Malone.
No Hair Don't Care is checked in with Post Malone. One team is getting points. The correct answer is Post Malone. His song Psycho had the line, "Come with the Tony Romo for clowns and all the bozos." And his song...
That's awful.
Yeah. And Wow said, "Always going for it, never punt fourth down, last call, Hail Mary, Prescott touchdown."
That is the equivalent of that LFO song from the 90s, where they just rhyme random stuff like, oh, Scooby-Doo snacks, and all of a sudden they're talking about Alex P. Keaton. No, it doesn't work.
I think it's like, yeah, literally it's like Insane Clown Posse song. Like, it's just so
Scooby-Doo Wop and Scooby Snacks, right? Yeah, awesome. It's same thing. Same exact song.
Question number 2. What movie, based on the college escapades of Bert Kreischer, featured appearances by Quentin Richardson, Michael Olowokandi, Darius Miles, and Lamar Odom?
Pretty sure that's it.
Really? All right, go ahead.
I can tell you they were all in that movie. Yeah.
They were in that movie?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. No clue.
I guess we're checking in with that.
All right, Go Get Taylor Hall is checked in. No Hair Don't Care. Go ahead and discuss.
Josh, I know one Darius Miles movie, and it's The Perfect Score. That SAT movie with Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson from like 2005. But those are college escapades. Well, I guess those are high school escapades, technically, taking the SAT. So I don't think that's it.
Do you know who Bert Kreischer is?
No idea.
The Machine.
Never heard that name before. So these are all Clippers players from like the 02 to like 05 era. So this is when that movie is likely to take place.
Man, it would be helpful if I had any idea who this guy was.
Right. College escapades to me, it's got to be like some sort of, is it like a Van Wilder movie or something?
Could be.
You know, college escapades to me is like American Pie type stuff. Not being any of those because I've seen all of those. Well, the real ones. Again, the only Darius Miles movie I know for sure is The Perfect Score. I know he's in that. I don't know.
If you, I mean, that's more than I have.
Oh, well, in that case, we're gonna check in with The Perfect Score.
All right, No Hair Don't Care checked in with The Perfect Score, and Go Get Taylor Hall and check in with.
We're gonna go with Van Wilder.
Go Get Taylor Hall checked in with Van Wilder, and the correct answer is National Lampoon's Van Wilder.
It's all AJ on that one.
What?
There's actually been 3 movies.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, this Rise of
Wilder.
the Taj.
What is this Bert Kreischer?
He's a stand-up comedian, man. You gotta go watch the YouTube video of him telling the story of him as the Machine when he was part of the Russian mafia.
What does that have to do with Van Wilder?
His time in college was insane, and they made a movie about it.
Basically, Ryan Reynolds played Van Wilder.
I know Van Wilder. I know the movie Van Wilder.
Yeah.
None of the rest of that made any sense to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like I said, it's based on Bert Kreischer. And
so Van Wilder was Bert.
It's based on a true story.
Yeah, based on a true story.
Inspired
Cool
by true
Runnings.
events.
It was basically the Cool Runnings of college.
And in the movie, there is a scene where the Coolidge basketball team, which has played 3 of the 4 were on the Coolidge I think all 4 of them were on the team. And he gives a motivational speech basically to the basketball team, played by all of those people.
I've seen that YouTube clip actually recently. My buddy at work showed it to me, but I had no idea of the guy's name. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
But now that you say that, like
He doesn't wear a
great
shirt. It's like his shtick.
Right. Yep.
He takes his shirt off during all of his sets, and you're like, buddy, why?
Just don't think I'm going to be looking that up.
Oh, it's too bad. The story is hysterical.
No, not after
this question has ruined him.
Nope. Can't do it. And I'll never watch Van Wilder again.
You're really going to hate me after this question, then.
I don't. Mason,
you've been hating on me all game. You're going to hate this question, too, so it's fine.
Mason, I could never hate you.
You can hate my questions.
I just hate your questions.
Okay, well, you're going to hate probably the rest of the time, then, so buckle up.
I hated Bomback's questions.
I know
you,
Mason. You hate my halftime questions. It's all fair.
All right. Well, here you go, Josh. Here's a literature question for you. Question 3.
Oh, the Ericates,
Like I said, I'm getting everybody today, so it's fine. And you're really going to roll your eyes when I start this question. But anyway, question 3. In 1949, Ogden Nash published the poem "Line Up for Yesterday" in ABC of Baseball Immortals. This poem commemorates 24 different baseball players. But what player completes the following entry for the letter E? E is for blank, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance.
Oh, we can check in.
No Hair, Don't Care is checked in. Go get Taylor Hall. Talk it out.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, one of the most famous double play trios of all time was Tinkers to Evers to Chance.
So they want a player? Or do they want to... I don't even know. I have...
Can I read the question? Do you want me to read it again?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll skip the first part and just get to the actual question then.
Yeah.
This poem commemorates 24 different baseball players, but what player completes the following entry for the letter E?
Okay, so it's
there. You go. Have it. Yeah, good. All right.
Great. I was having a hard time figuring out what the actual question was. I was feeling like an idiot.
He said literature, and I immediately just started thinking of all the John Steinbeck movies or books that I could remember, and it was none of them.
Of Mice and Men?
That's all I got.
It's of wrath.
I'm feeling a lot of wrath from you guys in this game, so it's okay. But
I don't know about wrath.
It might get there. So what are you checking with? Go get Taylor Hall.
Evers.
Checking in with Evers. No Hair, Don't Care. What's your answer?
Yeah, I knew this one as soon as you said Tinkers with Chance. Yeah. About a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, I had a podcast that I was doing with my buddies, like a sports podcast, and my other friend had a rival podcast, and so we had a trivia matchup head-to-head. They challenged us, and we went on their podcast. I single-handedly destroyed them. There was a Tinkers, Evers, and Chance question, and I got it right, and they all quit. And I was like, I thought they were pretty well-known. I didn't realize that they weren't very well-known. Yeah, that's what I thought, but apparently I was the only one of the 8 people there who even had ever heard of them. Yeah, it's definitely Evers, for sure. Checked in with that.
You also checked in with Evers. Yes, the correct answer is Johnny Evers. So Tinkers, Evers, Chance, like I said, is a classic double play combo, and they ended up winning 2 World Series together. Question number 4. In the Meatloaf classic, Paradise by the Dashboard Light, there is a section that details a play-by-play of a fictional baseball game that is used as a metaphor for his situation. What Yankees announcer provided this play-by-play?
We've jumped the shark. We've jumped the shark episode. Whatever this is, there's a Meatloaf question.
Not only that, but I believe it was referred to as a Meatloaf classic.
It is.
It's tongue in cheek. It wasn't like an actual classic. I was joking when I said.
No, it actually is. So shut your mouth.
Oh, we hit a nerve with Josh.
Jeez, you guys.
He was very testy, but anyway.
I can't even think about Meatloaf. I'm broken. Yeah. I can name one Meatloaf song.
Well, we're not looking for a Meatloaf anything. We're looking for a Yankees announcer.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they mentioned any Yankees announcers in was it I do anything for love. So I don't think
we can check in.
No Hair, Don't Care is checked in. Go get Taylor Hall.
How many Yankees announcers can you name? Because that's more than I got. Anything, AJ?
No, I mean, the Yankees.
Yeah, I hate the Yankees. I don't know.
I couldn't.
Paul O'Neill.
I couldn't tell you. Well, when Meatloaf was still singing, Paul O'Neill was of playing age, right? Yeah. Or before.
Yogi Bear, I have no idea. I got nothing. I have nothing to even.
Was Michael Kay a Yankees announcer?
Maybe.
Was he like a Yankees I don't know.
Color guy?
Yeah, I don't. Michael Kay is the only Yankees related guy that I could think of. That's not a player.
Okay. What about the then there's, because I just watched 61. What about Phil Rizzuto?
Sure.
I don't know. Either way, it's a coin flip. I'll let you pick.
I don't know what a Phil Rizzuto is.
It's a pasta.
So,
I don't know. Let's go with yours. Let's go with Michael Kay.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
So Go Get Taylor Hall is checked in with Michael Kay and No Hair Don't Care. What's your answer?
So Eric, are you a Seinfeld fan?
I am.
You know the pothole episode?
Oh, come on. I did not even think of Seinfeld at all.
So you should have gone with the name you came up with. I do believe it was Phil Rizzuto. We'll check it.
No Hair Don't Care checks in with Phil Rizzuto. And one team is getting points because the correct answer.
Ow!
Yeah, the correct answer is Phil Rizzuto. He was announcing shortly after he retired, and he did it for about 30 years on the radio and about 40 years on TV.
Oh, what? 70
I do want to
years?
just.
That's not what I said. He was doing it at the same
Oh,
time.
like, wait a minute.
Like, does this guy look 110? Like, what the hell? All right, that makes more sense. He's simulcasting.
You can do both. You can do both.
I know, but that's the way you said it. Like 30 years on the radio and then 40 years on TV.
Yeah, you made it sound like he transitioned into a 40-year television career because they
Okay,
invented
fine.
it.
I will re-say it.
Don't re-say it. It was perfect.
No, you're good.
He was on
You're
TV
fine.
for 40 years, 30 of which were also
All
on
right,
radio.
all right. So he's not 200.
All right.
Mason is getting pissed at us.
I appreciate the question, Mason, because my mom actually looks just like
I thought you were just saying your mom looks like Phil Rizzuto.
I don't know what he looks like. Maybe they all look the same. I'm not sure, but I've been saying for about 27 years now that my mom looks just like Meatloaf. So yeah, all my friends call my mom Meatloaf. So
Mason is gonna rage quit this episode.
You gonna retire from question writing?
That's a good question.
Apparently not. Only for one team it's good. But anyway. All right. Question number 5. Terry Bradshaw was the starting quarterback at Louisiana Tech in 1968 and 1969. However, in his first 2 seasons as a Bulldog, he was the backup to whom, now more famous in a completely different field than sports?
I'm ashamed that I think I know this.
Meatloaf.
my mom did not play college football.
No, I am not. I mean, I know what that is, but I don't know anything about it. How positive were you at with that?
85%.
Let's go with it. Better than what I got.
Well, what do you got?
Nothing. 0.
Oh, okay.
No, absolutely nothing.
Oh, in that case, I feel a lot better about that 85%.
All right, let's go with it.
All right, go get Taylor Hall checked in. No hair, don't care. Talk it out.
This could be anybody. I mean, they're gonna be in their 70s now, if they're still kicking.
Just starting their television announcing career.
Right. Probably known for, in the entertainment field somehow. So an actor or a host. I don't care which one. It's not going to be right.
Emeril Lagasse.
The chef, is he 70?
Sure. What does it matter? We're not going to get it right.
All right.
Damn.
That's the most random answer.
Trying to trace the psychology of these answers would be really interesting.
Isn't Emeril from the New Orleans area?
I mean, he has a restaurant
isn't that where
he's from Massachusetts. He was born in Massachusetts.
Okay, born there, but isn't that where he became?
Yes.
Emeril was in.
Yeah, in that. Yeah.
In New Orleans.
Yeah, he has a few famous restaurants in New Orleans.
So that's all.
Okay,
I don't
sure.
care.
He's born on the bayou.
Pick whatever you want.
Yes, let's go.
Josh is done. He's just done with this.
I'm out.
All right. For Josh, we're going to check in with Emerald.
Do you need the last name? Lagasse.
I
Legacy.
artist formerly known as, yes.
Oh, that Emerald.
No Hair, Don't Care is checked in with.
Bam. Sorry.
Goodness.
Stepping all over you.
No Hair, Don't Care is checked in with Emerald Lagasse. And Go Get Taylor Hall. What did you check in with?
We're going to go with Phil Robertson of Duck Dynasty fame.
Who?
Checked in with Phil Robertson, and that is the correct answer. So he actually got a lot more famous more recently.
Yeah.
In the mid 2010s, Duck Dynasty, a reality TV show detailing his duck call business.
I'd never, ever thought Duck Dynasty would come up on this podcast.
Well,
Have you ever seen it?
No.
Don't.
So AJ, you had that answer. That was all you.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I don't even know who he. He asked me. He's like, familiar with Duck Dynasty? Nope.
Sorry. Something I've always been ashamed of until now.
It's paid off. It's
No,
paid
there you
off
go.
Finally.
You probably should still be embarrassed about it. But it got you an
I tell
answer
you,
in the
it will not be something I will be advertising.
It will forever live in infamy as long as our podcast.
heading into the second half, we have scores of No Hair, Don't Care with 230 and Go Get Taylor Hall with 290. So the deficit still remains the same.
We'd like to take a minute to invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Benchwarmers TP. We also have a Facebook group for fans of the pod called The Bench. Join us there to comment on the latest episodes and share cool sports facts and trivia. If you'd be willing to rate and review us on iTunes or Stitcher, we'd greatly appreciate the support so that other people may find this podcast. Thanks.
So we head into the second half. And today's third quarter will be David versus Goliath.
David versus Goliath. This quarter will consist of 5 pairs of questions, one easier, David, and one harder, Goliath. After hearing both questions, each team will pick one of the 2 questions to answer, either David or Goliath. Each David question is worth 20 points, and each Goliath question is worth 50 points.
And for this round, I will give you the name of a Division I college football rivalry, and you have to name the 2 schools involved in that rivalry. Question 1, David, clean old-fashioned hate, and the Goliath, 100 miles of hate.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're checked in.
Go Get Taylor Hall is checked in, so No Hair, Don't Care. Feel free to talk it out.
Probably don't need to, yeah. But yeah, I agree.
Let's talk it out as raucous laughter begins.
No, don't think we're gonna quite necessarily talk.
Yeah, we're trying to increase our listeners, not lose a
Yeah.
significant portion of them.
So I just said this to me. They sound like they're more of a Southern rivalry. That just feel, for whatever reason.
It's maybe all right. So Florida State, Florida, Miami,
I mean, there's obviously certain ones that I know what
Georgia,
isn't.
Georgia, someone, Tennessee.
Georgia.
What's 100 miles from Georgia?
I don't know. Would they
More
be both?
Georgia.
I can't.
Yeah, right. More Georgia.
Georgia Tech. You know, a lot of those in-state type things.
Sure.
I couldn't tell you if it's either or any. I mean, it could be Mississippi State. It could be.
Oh yeah. I like your take that it's Southern, so we just pick.
I would think that once again,
David probably has bigger schools. Being
right,
David.
right. Like the Goliath probably would have some not as obvious, maybe
It's like
not Power
South
5.
Florida, Central Florida.
Right, non-Power 5 maybe. I'd be fine if we just want to pick 2 interstate ones.
Yep. Yeah. So it could definitely be Georgia Tech, maybe.
Yeah,
Different
because
conferences.
Georgia Tech's in the ACC and
Yeah.
Georgia's in the SEC.
Right.
I don't know, because isn't Mississippi and Mississippi State? Are they
They weren't always.
not? Oh, I don't know.
I maybe like that one better though. I don't know if Georgia Tech is even good enough to deserve to be in a rivalry. So
I'm fine with either.
what about Virginia Tech?
That could be too.
That's old fashioned. That's the first colony. That's old fashioned.
I really have zero Thunder at all. Like,
All right. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, or Virginia, Virginia Tech. Pick between those two.
let's go, like you said, the oldest school. Let's go old school and go Virginia, Virginia Tech. Sure.
All right, we're checking that in for David.
All right, checking in David with Virginia and Virginia Tech. And go get Taylor Hall. What did you check in with?
We went with, the very popular rivalry of Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky for Goliath.
You checked in with Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky for Goliath. So first we'll start off with the David. You actually mentioned this one but didn't go with it. It's Georgia, Georgia Tech for Clean Old Fashioned Hate. And the Goliath is Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky.
This is going to get ugly. This is, I mean, seriously, who?
It's going to get meatloaf ugly.
It already has.
Phil Rizzuto ugly.
Phil Robertson ugly. With that, moving on to question number 2, David, the Palmetto Bowl, and Goliath, the Paint Bucket Bowl.
I had the one half. I was spacing on the second part, so yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was state or not. But when you had state, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oops. All right, something with state.
That's going to give it away. Ohio State and
the Ohio State.
Yes, the Ohio State versus. All right, Mason, we're going to check in.
All right, go get Taylor Hall. It's checked in. No hair, don't care. Go ahead and stuff.
All right, Josh. One has a state in it.
Well, they said it wasn't the one. It wasn't the state.
So it's okay. One that has a state and doesn't have a state, and then there's a third school that needs to be involved now, since the state one's not one of the schools involved.
I think it's in the United States, actually.
So it's
So Palmetto. What does that?
Feel good about
what does
that.
mean? Palmetto.
guessing it's a place.
A type of cigarette.
I think that's Pall Mall.
Oh, all right. Never mind.
These.
We may not get a single point in this round. I think we really need to realistically expect that.
Oh, at this point, I'm assuming a 0 because I don't know how you determine what's easy on things like this. I don't know.
The ones that I recognize and have heard of, and the ones that I had not heard of.
All right.
Yeah, Palmetto, I'm not sure.
Then I'm guessing this might be a lot more of the ones he's heard are going to be maybe more SEC type, ACC.
Sure.
I'm not sure how familiar Mason would be with
the Big East,
Pac-12, and Big Ten, and maybe Big 12.
Big Ten is.
You don't know.
At this point,
obviously, you have no idea. Apparently, what I know because I pick stuff that nobody else knows. Not a problem.
Palmetto.
Eric knows these things apparently. So, I mean, he knew Middle Tennessee State and Western Kentucky.
See, I didn't know that one. I just picked it because it had hate in it, like the first one did. That's the only
that works, and that's a legit. The fact that he knew it, I guess it shouldn't surprise me. But
it's Eric. Yeah.
Palmetto. That sounds like it's in California.
I mean, that was my initial thought, but that just sounds like a California thing. But
Palmetto Grove is like an area in California. I don't know much about it except for that it exists, so it doesn't really help me.
States with 3 Power 5 schools in it.
The only good thing that might happen is by the 5th one, we'll know some schools that it can't be just from the answers. So
I should be making a list of the actual ones it was,
right.
huh? So we're not going to have Georgia Tech anymore.
All right, those are out, and Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee State.
Oh, I'm not even concerning myself with the Goliaths. I just want to try and get a David.
Yeah. So if we think Palmetto's in California, do we want to maybe is that the Stanford Cal? Their rivalry has a name.
I don't know. Whatever. Sure.
Yeah. Why don't we do that?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we're gonna check in for David with Stanford Cal.
No hair, don't care. Checks in with David. Checks in for David with Stanford Cal, and go get Taylor Hall. Which one did you check in with? What did you say?
So I sent to AJ Arkansas State, and he sent back to me.
The Paint Bucket Bowl was Memphis and Arkansas State.
There you go. Checking in with the Goliath.
Memphis is a football team? Oh, wait. D'Angelo Williams went there. That's right.
Antonio Gibson went there. You should know that, Scott.
I do, actually.
Lynch went there.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
So, yes, the Goliath is Arkansas State and Memphis. The trophy is actually half of each of their colors on there. and they had like a wall that they would paint with paint, and that's how they came up with that. And the Palmetto Bowl is nicknamed after the state nickname, which is the Palmetto State, and that is Clemson in South Carolina.
All right, Josh, take those off the list. Arkansas State, notable alum?
Nope.
No, they just don't have them. All right, moving on to question number 3. David, the Backyard Brawl, Goliath, Bridger's Battle.
You've named 6 things that I've never heard of before.
You've never heard of Bridger's Battle?
Have you?
No. I've heard of Backyard Brawl, but not in a college football sense. Very familiar with Backyard Brawls.
Are we good?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm trying to picture it better, but I don't think I'm going to get better than that. So, yeah, let's check it in.
Go get Taylor Hall. It's checked in. No hair, don't care. Go ahead and discuss.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Backyard Brawl makes me think, it's going to be pretty physical. I'm thinking, it's like down and dirty. It's
Probably close, whether it's in the same state or maybe bordering states.
Yeah, that's why I said like maybe Oklahoma, OK State. I'm just thinking probably, pretty physical teams that play pretty brutal games to get that nickname.
In the first 2 questions, both Davids were an SEC versus an ACC.
Right.
So I don't know if that really means anything, but
right. For me, it means he hopefully is probably deviating from it and not sticking with that. I just thought that, again, Big 12, just because of the style of play, but SEC makes sense too with that style of play. Backyard. I mean, these could even be Texas schools, right? Like
at this point, Scott, they could be anything other than the bowls that have currently been said. And you know what? It could be a copy of it, and they play each other every other year. It's something else. I have no idea.
So let's just pick one and go for it.
Do you have a stronger feeling on any of those? Because I got nothing.
No. Oklahoma State is probably the one I would go with.
Sure.
All right, we're checking in with Oklahoma and Oklahoma State for David.
No hair, don't care is checked in with Oklahoma and Oklahoma State for the David. And go get Taylor Hall. Which one did you check in with, and what was your answer?
So it was the Aggies and the Cowboys, but it was Utah State Aggies and the Wyoming Cowboys for Goliath.
All right, so for Goliath, you checked in with Utah State and Wyoming. So for David, the Backyard Brawl, arguably the most famous one of those happened in 2007, where one team upset the other one in a pretty big fashion, and that was Pittsburgh against West Virginia.
Kept West Virginia from the title game, right?
Yep. And then the Goliath Bridgers battle is between Utah State and Wyoming.
Oh, this is brutal.
Oklahoma State is called Bedlam, by the way.
No, hopefully that's one of the next ones, and we can get it.
That one sounds nice, actually.
It's worth it.
Question number 4. David, the Shula Bowl, Goliath, the Bill Walsh Legacy Game.
We've now successfully got to 8 I've never heard of.
I think we're going to hit 10.
I think you're right.
I think we're good with that.
Yeah. I think we're okay.
Okay, let's check it in.
Yeah.
Go get Taylor Hall. It's checked in. No hair, don't care. Go ahead and discuss.
Let's take a shot at the Bill Walsh Legacy rivalry.
I'm starting to not care, that's for sure. That's
so Shula Bowl, Florida.
Yeah, there's only 18 Division I schools in
yeah, but I don't
Florida.
think it's I don't think it's Florida State. I don't think it's Florida State, Miami. I didn't know there was a Don Shula Bowl. So at least some of the other ones I've heard of, like Red River Shootout, that's a thing, right?
It is.
Yeah, sure. Seriously, you got South Florida, you got Florida International, you got what other Florida ones?
Florida A&M. Yeah, I think we just pick 2 Florida schools and move on.
I mean, it would make sense. Miami would be one, wouldn't it? Just because he coached Miami.
This could literally have something to do with where he went to college rather than the NFL, and I don't know where that is. I don't know. But I think our best bet's to just pick 2 schools in Florida.
Yeah, you said Miami USF, so
I like it.
Sure.
All right, checking in for David with Miami and South Florida.
No hair, don't care. It's checked in with Miami and South Florida. And go get Taylor Hall. What did you say?
We're going to kind of logic our way through the Bill Walsh Legacy Game. being that Bill Walsh went to San Jose State and coached at Stanford. We're going with that.
So Go Get Taylor Hall is checked in with San Jose State and Stanford. So the Shula Bowl was named because actually each of the two schools' first head coaches worked under Don Shula. And they're both in the Miami area, which would make sense. It's Florida International and Florida Atlantic, which are only just a few miles apart from each other. And the Goliath, AJ described exactly right. Bill Walsh went to San Jose State and coached at Stanford for a number of years, and so that is the correct answer.
Good Hail Mary.
Made sense, so he had to go with it.
But you'd have to have knowledge on those two things.
You didn't know Bill Walsh coached at Stanford?
I didn't know Bill Walsh coached anywhere except San Francisco.
Oh.
I don't know.
John Elway's coach?
Stanford twice,
I couldn't tell you who.
Wait, the band's on the field.
Yeah, he was Stanford coach twice.
Oh, okay, sure.
Did he coach Tiger Woods?
Probably.
All right, let's get out of this quarter at the last question.
My God, they're going to get 250, and we're going to get 0.
Yeah.
Question number 5. David, the Bayou Classic. Goliath, the Bayou Bucket Classic.
All right, we got this. Bayou, Michigan.
It's Minnesota, Wisconsin. I think that's,
Yeah.
Seriously, you don't even throw a bone of a Big Ten. So it's the Bayou Bowl and the Bayou Bucket Bowl.
Bayou Classic and the Bayou Bucket
Bayou
Classic.
Classic.
Oh, that changes my whole train of thought.
Yeah, Meatloaf Classic, right?
The Meatloaf Classic. I put 2 in the chat there, Josh. I say we just check those in.
Sure, whatever.
Right. We're
I don't
checked
think it's
in.
right, but you know.
No, I don't either, but at least they're in the state. We're checked in.
No Hair, No Care is checked in, and Go Get Taylor Hall. You can discuss now.
All right, we can talk this. I've heard of the Bayou Bucket Classic, and I remember when I saw it, it wasn't the two teams that I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
I remember they were Texas teams, and the closest to the Bayou, major colleges would be Houston?
Yeah. Well, and the two colleges in Houston are Houston and Rice.
Okay. So just based on logic on that, I would say Houston and Rice. And I mean, it'll all come down if you want to risk it or go with
take the chance.
Take the chance or go with what we're certain of, which is the Bayou Classic.
Try to maximize the ass kicking here, so I'm good to take the chance. It doesn't hurt us in any way to get this wrong.
Yeah. So let's risk it and go with the Rice Owls and the Houston Cougars.
All right, so you're checking in with Houston and Rice for the Goliath, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and No Hair, Don't Care. What'd you check in with?
Checked in for David. Bayou, we thought Louisiana, know your host. Didn't think LSU, so we just went with Tulane and Louisiana Tech.
All right, checked in with Tulane and Louisiana Tech. So the Bayou Classic happens every year in the Superdome. It's a pretty big event in terms of the number of people that come. It's probably the biggest college football game as far as like fan interest consistently every year in Louisiana, and that is between Southern and Grambling State. And the Goliath, yes, despite its name, has nothing to do with the Bayou, and the two teams are both from Texas. It is Houston and Rice.
Wow. I've actually heard about Southern and Grambling playing each other every year. I knew they had a rivalry. I couldn't tell you the name of it.
It's a nationally televised game every year for two bad teams.
Yeah, which is why I've heard of it.
Yeah.
That's why I thought more people had heard of it, but
Never heard of it.
I was mistaken.
I've heard of the rivalry.
I've never heard of
not the name.
any of those games.
I will say for 5 questions, there were no the Bayou Classic's pretty popular. Palmetto Bowl, Palmetto Bowl's pretty well known, but some of those are tough, man.
Like Iron Bowl or anything from the Big Ten would have.
I mean, helpful. Bedlam would have been a good one. That's like a layup. The Red River Shootout, Oklahoma and Texas.
That's a thing.
Like the Rocky Mountain Showdown, Colorado State. There were.
I don't think any of those were easy. But
all right. Well,
I thought the ones you just listed were too obvious. That's why I didn't pick them.
That's where Davids are supposed to be. Basically, you don't have a clue. Here's some points.
It was Goliath versus Goliath.
That's me being biased, like in college football. So
yeah. I thought Georgia Tech was a pretty hard David.
That's Goliath versus Goliath.
The Shula Bowl, Florida International and Florida Atlantic.
Mason, I love the round. I'm just going to go ahead and say this.
Yeah.
I
the round. It's a good round.
Eric and I did very well in that. We liked that.
It's a good round. I mean, it's just wasn't in one team's wheelhouse. It happens to me all the time.
After the third quarter, we have scores of No Hair, Don't Care, 230, and Go Get Taylor Hall with 540. And so that brings us to the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, known as Put Your Fours Up. This quarter consists of 5 categorized questions that teams will wager up to 100 points each, not to exceed their current point total.
So here are the categories for the round, and I'll give you the subject as well, just to reemphasize it. Question 1, answered prayers, and that's the NFL. Question 2, drop it like it's hot, and that is MLB. Question 3, a cut above the rest, and this is about running.
What?
Question 4, marquee matchup, and that is the NBA. And question 5, he scored, and that's the NHL.
That's a 0 for us.
So 4 big 4 questions.
Running's big 4. Kidding me.
I wasn't including that one.
Great. So somebody who you wouldn't think would score a damn goal is going to have scored a goal. So yeah, that's a 0.
Yeah, it's probably in D2 when like they had the goalie score when they pulled the trick play, and then Iceland was like the goalie.
All right. So now that the wagers are in, we'll move on to the questions. Starting off with question number 1 in the category of answered prayers. What quarterback is the only one in NFL history to throw 2 50-plus yard Hail Marys with no time left on the clock, throwing them to Kevin Johnson in 1999 and Quincy Morgan in 2002?
I remember watching a video of like every team's Hail Mary passes, and I remember that. So
It's quality YouTube content at like 1 a.m.
Right?
Yeah, yep, that's exactly what that is.
Get bored at work, you just fall in a few wormholes, and then
You do. Mine is they have these Where Are They Now videos for like all the top 10 college recruits every year. So it's like where are they now? I get into them and 2 hours have gone by.
Yeah.
Like what is happening?
Mason, we're gonna check in.
All right. What are you checking in with, and how many points did you wager?
Oh, they already check in?
Yeah. Oh, they didn't? I'm sorry. I thought they did.
Oh, I thought you checked in.
I did. I was kind of waiting for you for some affirmation. I didn't want to just go rogue.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll check.
Check us both in.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Everybody's checked in. We'll start with No Hair, Don't Care. What was your answer and wager?
So we wagered 75. I just went off of the receivers. I knew that they were both Cleveland Browns receivers during this time frame. So we checked in with Tim Couch.
All right. Checking in with Tim Couch for 75 points. And Go Get Taylor Hall. What did you check in with in your wager?
It's literally the exact logic that I followed. Was, hey, those are Browns receivers, so I guess Tim Couch, yeah. So yeah, we're going with Tim Couch, and we wagered 100.
Yep.
Shocker.
All right, checked in with Tim Couch for 100 points, and both teams are correct. It is surprisingly Tim Couch who has done that. The first one was the first win as the new Browns, defeating the Saints in the Superdome on that Hail Mary pass.
I didn't realize he was in the league for 3 years as a starter.
apparently 4 years in fact. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 4 years. Jeez.
He was a great quarterback, all right?
He was supposed to be.
And now we will move on to question number 2 in the category of Drop It Like It's Hot. Game 6 of the 2003 NLCS is most remembered for Steve Bartman deflecting a fly ball that Moises Alou attempted to catch in foul territory in the 8th inning. But what shortstop made an error 2 batters after that incident, which ruined the potential for a double play to get out of the inning and led to 7 more runs being scored in the inning?
We're going to go ahead and check in then.
Go Get Taylor Hall is checked in. No Hair, Don't Care. Talk it out.
Oh, this sucks. I wish my brain wasn't fried from the last round because this is obviously my wheelhouse. Cubs shortstop in 2003. Was it the other Alex Gonzalez? Did they each have an Alex Gonzalez at shortstop in that series?
Gonzalez sounds right. I don't know if it's...
Well, Alex Gonzalez played for the Marlins. Alex S. Gonzalez was the shortstop for the Cubs, but I don't know if he was there in 2003.
That sounds familiar. Like I said, Gonzalez sounds familiar. I'd be fine with checking in with Gonzalez.
All right, well, let's do that then. We're going to check in with Gonzalez for 75 points.
Checking in with Gonzalez for 75 points. And go get Taylor Hall. What did you check in with? And your wager, please.
Yeah, we wagered 100, and we have Alex Gonzalez.
Alex S.
Both teams are getting points. The correct answer is Alex Gonzalez. And as Scott mentioned, the starting shortstops for both teams were Alex Gonzalez during that game.
Good job, Scott. On both of those. At least your brain's working a little bit.
It's starting to come back, yeah. I'm like
Mine's-
Celine Dion. It's all coming back to me now.
Mine got turned off. There's nothing. I got nothing. Oh, wait. I'll get the two that we had zeros on, I'm sure. That's where my knowledge will kick in.
Question 3 in the category of a cut above the rest. What woman was declared the winner of the 84th Boston Marathon in 1980 before it was revealed that she took the subway and jumped back onto the course half a mile before the finish line?
Oh,
Damn it. We're going to check in.
sure.
Go get Taylor Hall. It's checked in. No hair, don't care. Talk it out.
Nothing to talk out here, Josh. No idea. I loved the idea and the thought, though. I ran a 5K a couple years ago, and I literally wanted to do the same thing, except we don't have subways here. But I was going to.
You know what? I actually think, once again, I jokingly said that. I think I might have this.
Okay.
It's an alliterative name, I do believe. Ruiz.
Robin Ruiz.
No, not Robin Ruiz.
Roberta Ruiz.
No.
We can just check in with Ruiz.
Oh, we probably can, can't we?
Yeah. I mean, unless you want me to, I'll go through our names with you.
No.
Rita Ruiz.
It starts with an R. I can't come up with her first name, but it's Ruiz.
Regina.
So we'll check in for 0 points with Ruiz.
Damn, let's just get all 5 of these right.
No hair, don't care is checked in with Ruiz for 0 points.
Rosie.
That is it. It is Rosie Ruiz.
Go get Taylor Hall. What did you check in with, and what was your wager?
We're also going with Rosie Ruiz, but we wagered 1 point.
Boo!
We were all afraid of running.
Boo! Wow.
1 point awarded between both right answers here.
Well, both teams are correct, even though there's a combined 1 point being awarded.
We can give them half a point of it. if they
No,
want.
that's all right. Wow. So, Eric, you weren't trying to get another 4-digit win, huh?
No, I did not like running.
Huh. I figured you were just going hundos down the way.
What he normally does.
If it was something other than running,
I'm surprised you didn't at least do one to get to the 1,000. At least get it to 1,000. Like, have it be 60.
It was the original plan.
yeah. But then just running just did not sit well.
Yeah, Rosie Ruiz. Yeah, I've heard that. It's just one of those that, yeah.
Yeah, she was pretty famous after that. And she's, to her death, she denied that she did that, even though like tons of people saw her on the subway, come out of random crowds. Like it was.
She has an identical twin. It wasn't her on the subway.
Yeah. Also, the fact that they saw her and she wasn't sweating, which you would think if you ran a marathon, you'd be sweating.
She's just that good.
That is awesome.
It's just that good.
I wouldn't even be mad. I'd just be impressed that somebody would even think.
Yeah.
And then she got in some legal trouble later on in her life. Too.
Oh.
It wasn't exactly.
That wasn't her fault either.
No, it was somebody else.
Now, question number 4 in the category of marquee matchup. And Scott, here's your chance. What Nugget achieved a stat line of 19 points, 16 rebounds, and 18 assists in a 1985 playoff game versus the Jazz, becoming one of only 3 NBA players to achieve 15 points in each of those categories?
Too early for Carmelo.
You wouldn't do that in a playoff game anyway. That's too clutch.
Jeez.
Scott, you had a stronger feeling on the other. Go with it.
All right, we'll check in.
All right, no hair, don't care is checked in, so go get Taylor Hall. You can discuss.
Gut feeling says it's Fat Lever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, like I said, Alex English one is just the only one that I would think of. So I'm good going with your gut.
Yeah, he's more of a Denver legend than NBA legend, and he was way more of an assist man.
If you're good with it, I'm good with it.
I'll roll the dice.
All right.
We're gonna check in with Fat Lever.
Okay, checking in with Fat Lever for how many points?
100.
All right, checking in for 100 points with Fat Lever. And no hair, don't care. What was your answer and wager?
So for the second question in the fourth quarter, it sounds like the thought processes were exactly the same between AJ and I. First, the Browns receivers, and now I thought it's got to be either Fat Lever or Alex English. And I thought to myself, Alex English wasn't much of a rebounder. He probably did more scoring than the 19 points. So we also checked in with Fat Lever.
All right, checked in with Fat Lever for how many?
75.
I was just going to say, this is somebody that I would say, who to? Never heard of Fat Lever.
Well, also another subtle hint. The category was marquee matchup, and Fat Lever's real name is Lafayette. So that was a very subtle, very, very subtle Marquis de Lafayette reference.
Super subtle.
Very subtle. But anyway.
I didn't know his first name wasn't Fat.
I knew it was. I couldn't remember what it was, but yeah, Lafayette. That's right.
But anyway,
he wasn't born with the name Fat?
No, he was born fat, but he wasn't born with the name.
He's not a junior?
Fat Lever Jr.
Fat Lever the third.
Anyway, both teams are correct. This happened in game one of the Western Conference semifinals that year against the Jazz.
Nuggets won that series, I believe.
Yes, the Nuggets won that and then ended up losing to the Lakers.
They always do, man.
No. That will not happen.
They always do. You don't even know.
I know that they always do, but times are different.
I think it's going to happen again.
NBA's broken, dude. Just got to deal with it.
Yep.
Lakers have two players.
Exactly.
I don't care about Kyle Kuzma.
Exactly.
Danny Green's pretty good, so 2.5.
Yeah.
I have a weird picture of half a guy running up and down the court, hopping up and down the court.
Have you seen Earl Boykins?
Love me.
Nugget legend.
Love me some Earl Boykins.
Yeah. Eastern Michigan alum.
All right. Last question of the fourth quarter in the category of he scored. And here it is. 2 goaltenders in NHL history have scored more than 1 goal in their NHL career. One did both of his with the Flyers, and the other did 3 of his with the Devils. Name either of them.
We're checked in.
Yep.
Go get Taylor Hall's checked in. No hair, don't care. Go ahead and discuss.
Josh, I'm thinking Marty Brodeur is one of them.
Sure.
3 with the Devils. Makes sense.
Yeah. I don't have any. I mean, not that we have anything,
On the line. Yeah.
So I'm fine with that.
All right. We're going to check in for a whopping 0 points with Martin Brodeur.
All right, check in 0 points with Martin Brodeur. And go get Taylor Hall. Your answer and wager.
We're going to go with Ron Hextall and Martin Brodeur with 100 points.
Ooh, they're going with both answers.
Oh, as if they didn't win.
Well, both teams are correct. It is Ron Hextall and Martin Brodeur.
5 for 5, Josh.
You know what? Strong finish after we just didn't show up in the third quarter, but
and we crushed these hockey questions
them today. We
this
did.
episode.
We should have trusted that going into we should have put some wager on it.
So the game has come to an end. Here are the final scores. No Hair, Don't Care finishes with 455 points. And our clipboard captains of the game, who are receiving the coveted Mark Herman Award, with 941 points. Go get Taylor Hall. So congratulations, Eric and AJ. AJ, anything you'd like to say before we wrap it up?
That was fun.
Yeah, that's it.
Actually, I have a question for AJ. Where can I listen to your podcast?
Geez. We pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, whatever. We've been pushing the YouTube channel a lot more. So if you just check out DNVR Avalanche on YouTube, you'll see we do 5 podcasts per week, Monday through Friday, talking mostly Avalanche hockey, but also the NHL in general when it's like right now during the off season. with a big focus on the NHL draft coming up the next 3 weeks.
Cool. Do you hear the dedication? 5 days a week they do their podcast.
We've done five podcasts per week every week except for 3 weeks for the last year and a half.
Just a one quick clarification question. Do you get paid to do your podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just, Scott, just wanted to point that out.
We're getting there.
I will do 5 nights a week for 2 hours a night, anytime. Pay me or don't pay me.
It's editing this.
You say that, and then
I just like talking to you guys.
You get into the 173rd show, and you're going to be like, maybe I don't feel the same way about this.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric and I'll just talk drafts at that point.
Dude, I can talk draft talk all day, every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just go through every pick of the 2000 NFL draft and talk about their careers. And
and then we'll just move to different years. We'll start there.
Bonus episode.
An in-depth analysis of draft.
The 2000 NFL draft.
So apparently Scott's going to have to learn how to edit if he wants to be recording 5 days a week.
I have no problem editing. I just don't have the manpower to do it. I don't trust my machine here. I know it takes a lot.
So I would just like to thank AJ for coming on. I had Adrian Dater on. It was great, and you were just as great. You know your stuff, too. Thanks for coming on. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys thinking of me and reaching out. It was a good time. And I don't like to lose, so this worked out nicely.
There you go.
That's right. Some of us are used to losing on this podcast. And it was something. I'm just kidding. It was a good time. Thank you, AJ, for joining us. We always enjoy when we get some new guests on, and I don't know. I got nothing else. My brain doesn't work anymore today.
Any chance I get to be on a game that has a lot of hockey questions is both daunting but also educational for me. So I actually appreciate it because I can expand my knowledge. That's what it's all about. Mason, good questions. Very well-rounded game. Thank you for no Olympics. Again, it's just some people know stuff and other people don't know it. It's what it comes down to. You just don't know going into it. I wore my only hockey hat because I knew we had AJ on.
Oh, so. I could have worn my St. Pat's hat.
I'm going to get a Nuggets hat, though, for if we have him back on. Nuggets hat.
I already got a Nuggets hat in the cart on my Lids account, so.
Oh, you find it good fitted?
Yeah.
Send it to me. Because everything I like, I'm like, oh, that's really nice.
Snapback. Snapbacks are amazing.
True. Well, it's just more, I want to be able to wear it front and back, depending on how I feel. And I don't look good with backwards snapbacks.
Nobody does.
Because I don't have hair coming out of the front. I'm not cool, and I'm one of the cool kids. Like Mason could do it.
No, I'm not 12. I'm not 12 anymore.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. You look like a 7-year-old. You wear a snapback backwards.
No. Wearing a hat backwards, no matter what the hat is. I know Eric likes to wear his hats backwards too. So, and you guys are younger than me, so
it makes your face look skinnier when you wear a hat backwards. That's what it is. I have a fat face otherwise. So, I don't know. It's weird.
Just to let you know, your face kind of looks the same, no matter how you wear your hat. To me, well, I'm just I anybody wearing a hat, it just is they're wearing a hat. I've never thought it changes the. But if you think it changes how you
yes, that's all that matters. All right,
that is
backwards hat and a beard is a cool look, and women dig it.
All right, hey,
I wish I knew.
It's a sad note to end the show on,
right?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it up right there.
Listen, I'm married now.
Yeah, I think that's an appropriate ending for this.
We'll cut. I'm sure this will get cut.
No, keep that. I'm gonna make my wife listen to
it. She's not gonna listen.
Thanks for listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Until next time, we'll keep the bench warm.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch! Get on back there. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes!
Into deep left center for Mitchell. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
That great music you're listening to is by Justin Nozick. Thanks to him for producing that music for us. You've been listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We are at Benchwarmers TP.